Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Dominions 4 in the 7-person free-for-all series. And I am again joined by I Seen You Before. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. Actually, I guess I'm doing excellent since Tortuga-san, the lazy man that he is, has finally decided to awaken, which is very good news for us. We've done this whole turn ahead of time, but I'll try to just catch you up briefly on what has happened, and then we have a lot of explaining to do. There's a whole lot of battle planning going on behind the scenes. I should talk a little bit about diplomacy and stuff like that. But okay, so first of all, Asphodel or Asphodel. I don't know how you say it, but I always just naturally say it Asphodel. But I think, how do you say it? I Seen You Before?
I call it Asphodel too.
Okay, but it seems like some people say Asphodel. The emphasis on the second. Whatever. We're gonna say Asphodel because that's what I like. That's what you like.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Alright, they said hostile actions without provocation. I see now the lies you spew of peace. Your mercs will not save you. Your weak nation shall fall. Actually, we haven't been in contact with him for several turns, and I never said peace. I just talked about, hey, you know, things, yeah, let's just be friendly. So that has changed in the time being, so I tried not to be a man who's dishonorable. Thaumaturgy is complete. Like I said, Tortuga-san has awoken. Now these things are just going to start to become important. In Saboria, as we expected, the troops of Asphodel have attacked us. And I'm probably going to want you, I've seen you before, to maybe talk a little bit about what we're seeing here.
So basically, as we planned earlier, he's using his Black Centaurs as the major punching force, while being supported with a bunch of undead critters, anywhere ranging from undead bears to undead elephants. The undead elephants are particularly dangerous because they can trample you and they won't rout thanks to their 50 morale, and they also have fear, so that's one thing to look out for.
How do they get different varieties of these? Is it just random, or?
Just think about different animals. Like the females will reanimate dead animals as part of a forest. So anything that was in the forest. For example, like I think this is a dead horse.
Okay. Yeah, this is a dead horse. So like basically he reanimates things, but is it based on what the province defense in that territory was, or is it just
No, it's based
random?
on if it's a forest and how
Uh-huh.
much dominion and growth scale they have. So the more growth scale, dominion, and if it's a forest, we'll get better and stronger animals like bears and
I see.
elephants.
Okay. Very good. That's good to know. So they obviously are going to crush us. Now he doesn't have a prophet here. No, he does. He cast blessing. But I guess that so these guys became, yeah, they do have recuperation. Are they blessed in this state? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay, good.
yes.
Alright, I just want to check to make sure that he was doing everything. As we know he is. Dwarf Comic probably the superior opponent of all our opponents. That's my opinion at least. So that is the army in the south. Let's also look at... We got the opportunity to witness a battle in Karnak, which I guess is very close to the Vanheim capital. This is going to be just an absolute slaughter. It looks like, what is it? 10 villains? Is there anything to really talk about here?
Pretty much that villains are really bad. As I always said, never worth recruiting. Just look at how they just get killed easily.
So we should take a look. They didn't lose anything. Yeah, they didn't lose anything. Okay, Utterdeep. This is our Kappas. Finally taking their rightful place, bordering the entire coast of Asphodel. Chop, 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 chop. I'll leave you to all the battle commentary.
Oh, basically we can see right here that our Kappas are just grinding through the enemy because every one of them deals 2 attacks per turn. So one square of 6 Kappas will be dealing 12 attacks per turn against probably 6 attacks.
That was pretty brutal.
That's usually just to say that Kappas, because we have 2 attacks per turn, they actually deal quite a lot of damage.
I see.
Yeah. And they break, if they don't kill you, they basically give you a limp. So
Yeah.
Kopo means they probably broke your leg, something like that, and make you limp.
Huh. Well, they're very effective fighters. I'm happy to have them on our side. So we took under Utterdeep, and this last one is probably the most troubling. This is Asphodel's main army. So feast your eyes upon what could end up being the destruction of the Bakemono people. They have a lot of black centaurs. They have Autoneus. I think they have Eurus McCorney in here somewhere. I can't. Where is he? Yeah, there he is. Eurus McCorney, their prophet. He's experienced. Oh, he has a heroic ability. Huh.
He's even bigger. Has even more HP.
Oh boy.
60 HP.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is obviously just against our province defense. We won't really be able to garner anything, but I guess we can at least take a look at what the position he's using. He's using some pathetic units in front, black centaurs in top, and all his carrion beast stuff is down here.
Yeah, and this is probably his major army that was sieging Elm a couple of turns back, because they are pretty expensive to recruit. Like, you can check how much they are. You can click on Pastena, then click on Black Centaurs down there. And you see it costs 55 gold per Black Centaur. That's a pretty expensive army in general.
It's just horrifying to me that these guys also happen to be stealthy.
Yeah.
So they have a very sizable force of Black Centaurs. Considering that's almost half their army, that's terrifying. Yeah, and I think that this is basically where the well, I'm kind of stealing what I seen you before is saying that this is the entirety of Asphodel's main strength on the field right now is in this army. Time of strife has ended from the Throne of War. That was our fault. People have complained to me about losing some provinces because of us, but I told them I actually didn't know that would happen, which is true. It's not that ignorance. I mean, not that. What is the expression in law?
I think it's
you're not
ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss is true, but in law it's the other way around. Ignorance does not preclude you from prosecution by the law. And I don't know. There's a very short way of saying it, which I'm not able to say because I don't remember the phrase.
No, I don't remember the exact expression, but I know this is a thing in law. Like, pleading ignorance doesn't make you innocent, something along the lines of this.
Yeah, that's the idea. So I don't remember the phrase. I'm sure that we'll get 200 million comments saying you guys are both stupid. This is obviously what it is. Which is acceptable, but that's okay. I don't know. Just kind of like as an aside. Have you ever noticed that when you're recording, your ability to recall things seems to become a lot worse suddenly?
Yeah, and what you wanted to say also sometimes doesn't correlate, and then you kind of like correct yourself over and over. But I think it's just the effect of knowing you're being recorded right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, even when in my research we called this the blackboard effect, that the closer you get to the blackboard, the stupider you become. So that when you actually get to the blackboard to put your idea on it, you don't remember what you wanted to say. And I think there's something about that for recording too. It seems like there's some kind of trade-off where you may be really intelligent, you can put a lot of cool things in the comments, especially because you can think about things more. But when you're on the clock... Yeah, it doesn't go as well. All right, we did get these mercenaries. Gunther Bluchkraft.
He's full of mace man.
And they are actually not going to do anything for us this turn. So actually, maybe you can just do a good job probably of explaining what the purpose of this turn was. So let me just recap for the audience what has happened, and then you can kind of explain what our strategy is moving forward. So we have the mercenaries here. We moved our army back here. The Saborias were that, reasonable sized army of Asphodel is. Utterdeep is where we moved in. Pastena is the place we retreated from, and that army is now in Toledo. This is the huge army of Asphodel, and I think that covers everything. So then, go ahead.
We're building a few infrastructures out. We're finishing up a fort, and we're building laboratories to increase our research production.
Okay, yeah.
And we also plan that Fordo Burget is going to go raid most provinces a bit more to avoid getting caught by the other force by Ermor.
That's right.
We're holding out until we get flaming arrows, basically. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, so Fordo Burget really is going on a quest for Mount Doom. The wrong way. I guess this probably looks the most like Mount Doom, maybe, all by itself.
It's Mountains of Madness down there.
Yeah, maybe this is it. They don't look as big, but well, it's our game. We can say whatever we want. Uh, yeah. Also, we're going to be doing our raid onto the Asphodel Shores as we've always planned. And the diplomacy I need to contribute is man is planning on actually attacking Bahamut this turn. And what else? I know Ulm is gearing up to eventually attack Fenica, but I've warned him that there's a strong local defense here. So
That's not that significant. It's still province defense. Unless he dropped 1,000 gold there, that's probably insignificant against an Elmish army.
I probably should have told Battle Moose that, Ulm that, but I think my words were just be careful about the province defense. All right, well, yeah, so you mentioned the research. We're just trying to get enchantment up to level 4. Because Tortuga-san is a pretty efficient researcher, he is going to contribute a turn of research until we get another Uba here. We're getting a ton of longbowmen, Bakemono longbowmen. One here because we needed enough money for things like recruiting the hobbits, and build a temple, build supply. Oh, I've wanted them to build those, what are these, supply depots? That's what it is, right?
Yeah, supply houses gives us a tiny bit more supply as well as more administration.
Yeah, and that was my focus. I really wanted to get the administration up so that we can start making more money. But other than that, you can see that we have lab here, research. Lots of people researching, and according to this, we should be able to get to level 4 in just 2 more turns. Which is good, because we don't know which way Asphodel's going, but they did give us this message saying something about probably they don't like us. My response, by the way, because it was the only attack we've done so far on them was, at least last turn, the only attack we had done was to move our hobbits into here, and then we retreated out. I plan to send this message. Such a hasty reaction. Our hobbits are merely looking for Mount Doom in the lands of the Dark Lord. They must have taken a wrong turn. Now, unfortunately, he's going to see that our Kappas are going to attack in next turn, so it's going to betray our words. It's going to be obvious that we do have something offensive planned, but maybe a humorous comment nonetheless. Now, I can't remember. Is there anything else to talk about on this turn?
Basically that because Asphodel is using a double major bless tactic with his black centaurs, the only way for us to defeat him efficiently without losing a lot of units will be to counter him with magic. And that's basically by us accomplishing enchantment level 4, if at best 5, but we won't get there yet, and use our Ubas to counter his undead, plus also using flaming arrows to make our longbowmen as well as archers even stronger and deal fire damage to our enemy.
Okay, so the idea is then just a fire army of Bakemono longbowmen.
Yes, and also we'll probably be recruiting a lot of small goblins just to put more arrows in the sky.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, good point. Oh, yeah, also I did mention to Vanheim that we'll be taking Grillion and also moving over to Koramu on the next turn after that, because he did ask us to advise him at least. It was the Council of... I think it was you, or it might have been Sam, somebody who told me to just include a few units, or maybe it was both of you guys, in fact, telling me to include a few units.
Oh, no, I was telling you, yeah.
Yeah, okay, then we'll see if that was necessary, because I was just saying, let's just send the commander by himself, but we'll see if that was necessary. It says it's free of enemy military units. Would it say that even if there was a local defense? It would, I guess, right?
I said it's 50-50% chance.
Oh, okay.
It could mean that it was free, then next turn he decides to just put province defense in it. It could mean anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll just keep this turn nice and short. Most of what is going on is diplomatic right now. There's a whole Council of the Living going on. I probably should read excerpts of that. I've seen you before. If you don't mind, I might even try to read one thing of maybe my opening piece or something. Let's see, Council of the Living, Council of the Living. This is just my first quote. This is from, I think this was from turn 13, but I sent a message. I basically am trying to get all the living together, which means everyone except for Asphodel and Airmore, all into one huge group chain. And this was what I sent to them. Greetings, messengers of all living nations. My couriers tire of running to the lands of Ulm, then Man, then Agartha, then Vanheim. A storm is upon us, the undead. Let us put all else aside for the moment, for one among us is in dire peril. I shall speak the breath of my knowledge. Ulm is besieged by the terrors of Asphodel. They have suffered greatly and have asked for help. And well, they should. So this was actually, I think, when Ulm was still being besieged, as an aside. Vanheim and Agartha both border Airmore and have contained the undead threat, but our scouts report a stalemate there as of late, which our scout actually still does report a stalemate. There hasn't been movement there. All here know that the goblin folk are now moving to assist Ulm. We, the Shinuyama, have made a bold raid through the northern Airmore lands, as well. 2 provinces taken. Those were the 2 provinces that we had taken. 1, 2. Yeah, so this is definitely the last turn or even 2 turns ago. To assist in the deconstruction of the nation of undead. After our daring raid on Airmore, we are now inside of Asphodel and will be in their lands before the next new moon. So yeah, this was turn 13 or 12 moving into 13 where we were attacking into Saboria. No one can deny that the Bakemono, mere goblins, have rallied to the side of the living. From this position, we ask the following. It is imperative that Vanheim and Agartha make a move against Airmore. Nothing less than their complete extinction will leave our now unprotected border with them safe. So we did want to ask everyone to attack Airmore. Man, though your armies are late to help, please send them post-haste to Asphodel territory. Every army you can muster, we shall coordinate with you so that our armies may maneuver without clashing themselves. Or if some better plan is out there, unknown to the goblin folk, reveal it quickly. The coordination of armies should be done at this council, publicly for all to see, to prevent the incidental collision and conflict of armies from different nations. The sharing of this information will put people at ease. Because remember, there's no alliances in the game. There's no real diplomacy. Everyone hates each other. Because everyone's trying to ascend the thrones ultimately. But you can't set like a nation to be temporarily like neutral or something like that. Okay, so then, blah, blah, blah. That's mainly what I wanted to say. It makes most sense for each nation to declare their immediate intentions. Those of Shinuyama are known. Ulms are clear. Self-preservation. Man, Agartha, and Vanheim speak. That was it. I won't read the rest, but maybe... I think Das was trying to make a comic about it, which he may eventually post, in which case I would just encourage everyone to go and read that. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty epic, especially because Das is obviously a fantastic artist. So I won't bore you anymore with the diplomacy, but there's been a lot of discussion in this quote-unquote Council of the Living, which I'm happy to say that I guess, you're blameless from anything that comes from it. I've seen you before. But I started, for better or worse. We'll see if it works out. Okay, so then I'll just call this video to a close, and we'll see you back. It looks like we have plenty of time to do a second part in this episode, in this video on YouTube, so stay tuned. In just a moment, we shall have turn number 15 on camera as well. And here we are back for turn 15. We have again done the turn, and I have to say, I've Seen You Before is joining me right now, and how long do you think we've been working on this turn for?
We took at least, I'd say, 20 minutes at least to work on it before we recorded this.
Yeah, I think it's actually been more than that. By my clock, it's been something like 40. But time
What?
flies. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, whoa.
Because I had the timestamp from the previous session we were doing. Anyway, so there's new news, and let me just start going through it. A messenger has arrived from Man. Let it be known to the remaining members of the Council of the Living that the Knights of the Grail march into the lands of Asphodel this turn. They did. Fafnir has claimed the Throne of Water. There was a battle in Fenica. I guess we'll show these battles. This is Ulm attacking. He mentioned he was going to... Oh god. Let's put this back on. Let's turn off the color. Grid's fine. I think I'm going to leave grid on. So this is just
Victor's villains.
yeah, where is Victor himself? Is he in here? There he is. Victor's villains fighting a lot of the province. What is this? No. Oh, a troll. What a troll. So that's that. It was just a scouting force by Ulm, really. Sorry. Well, we can see it again. Okay, this is what I meant to do. They didn't really do much. They killed one actual unit. They lost all their mercenaries. That's fine. It's a pretty weak mercenary unit anyway. Glimmering Fields, this is our hobbits. Now, I actually forgot to recruit them correctly last turn, so they will be disappearing. But their last parting blow... Actually, this is kind of interesting. We did end up losing a bunch of hobbits here. So, you'll probably see their numbers take a few hits. There's some down here. They're refilling. We'll go to triple speed. Yeah, they lost a whole bunch here as well.
Yeah.
Oh, they lost this one as well. Here comes Fordo. What a hero. Leading from the back.
That's the safest thing to do as a commander.
Yeah. So we lost 8, which means that their total number's down to 24. Wait, 25. But I did not recruit them correctly on the last turn, so they left us. It's not the worst thing, I think, because you'll see the position they're in. Actually, they probably could have taken a stab at a temple, but anyways, I messed that up. Okay, Okal. This is the huge battle between Vanheim and Airmore. Do you want to commentate this one?
Yeah, sure. So basically, Ermo is using his classical undead army, full of chaff in the middle and the top parts, and his elite cavalry undead at the bottom right. Meanwhile, Vanheim is using a lot of independently recruited archers and heavy infantries in the middle and the middle back. And meanwhile, on the flanks, we have his army of Vans, which are blessed with, I believe, Water 9 and Earth 4.
Yeah, I think that's right.
We need to find one who's blessed. Could you try looking for one? The
There's
candles need to be lit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very good point. And does that mean that they didn't cast their...
No, we're spamming blessing right now. Try to find one who got blessed.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. So yes, definitely.
7. The defense skill plus 7 is...
Water 9.
Okay.
And then Earth 4.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So that puts their defense at 27. So that means those Vans are very scary at this point.
I'll go up to, fast for the rest of this. So basically, as soon as they hit, it's over, right?
Yeah. And they actually hit 1.5 times more because of the quickness buff.
Oh, wow. So Vanheim looks really, really scary.
Yeah, but the only advantage that we have is that these troops, they can only be recruited from the capital. So eventually we will
Wear them
outproduce them. Yeah, outproduce, yeah.
Okay, well, that's it. It's over. But the massive battle, truly a massive battle, it was 120. That's still a lot. 50 vans, my god. A Fey boar. It's like a random boar joined the fight. But still, 50 of them. And anyways, 120 versus 134, that's a huge battle. Okay, what do we have next? We have High Wood. This is with... Oh, this is our Kappas. And our Kappas perform well. I think that it's basically just us charging them and... Wait, did this guy get hurt? Or was that our commander who's supposed to stay in back? Why? There was one guy lagging. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I think he might be limping.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He is battle... I didn't see any battle damage on him, but whatever. Okay, Ostmark. This is Yeah, good thing we retreated out of here. So they sent some... How many Black Centaurs do they have? I don't remember. In fact, we probably don't even need to watch this battle.
6. Yeah, 5, 6, and he's
Yeah.
carrion swarms.
So he has one leader, and then carrion swarm. Good luck. So that is Osmark? Yeah, 5 Black Centaurs, and then a Centauride. Hierophantide. Okay, then Toledo, they also attacked us. This is their massive army, which I guess we already now kind of know what's going on. So we don't really need to watch this again, but they're still there and they're still kicking butt. Okay, then there's Perenna. So this is new. The Airmore has pushed out from his lands and is heading north. A little troubling. So actually we killed one of their cavalry here. There it is.
Yeah, lucky hit.
We'll take it. But the rest of it, yeah, bad. So that was the only guy we killed. And they have an army of 70. I don't know. That's not like would you consider that like a medium threat?
That's a medium threat, yeah. Medium threat. With enough province defense and a decent army, we should be able to counter them.
Okay. And then... this was our province against Grillin. Actually, it was I seen you before advising me that I need to bring armies with my Gaius Avidius Cassius. I almost sent him just alone to take them. Could he have defeated them by himself?
No.
You don't think so?
No, he wouldn't have been able to.
So it's a good thing that I brought, well, that you guys convinced me to bring forces with him. Otherwise, and I did send a message to Vanheim asking him what he meant by saying the provinces were defenseless when they were not. Anyway, okay, so patrolling troops. This is because these guys were on patrol.
Yeah.
And the last message is that they left us. Yep, because that was my fault. I wasn't careful enough to make sure that we actually recruited him, but that's okay. Okay, so now we've already done this turn. I don't know, I've seen you before, why don't you take it away? What is our grand plan here involving the massive army of Asphodel that's bearing down on us?
Alright, so for this turn what we're going to do is we're going to be recruiting and reassembling a bigger army. We're trying to get as many archers that we can to put arrows into the sky and movement to be as efficient as possible. So what we did on Sylvania, since we already have a Bakemono shaman being able to lead 45 units, we recruited 45 of the weaker goblin archers so that we're able to move them directly to Shinuyama in one turn. Thanks to the map move, the forest survival, and the mountain survival, those guys will have no issue jumping from Sylvania straight to our capital. Meanwhile, Asukai is still moving our bigger army back to Shinuyama, but he's going to take 2 turns, right? So we're hoping by the next 2 turns we'll have a big army enough assembled in Shinuyama, have flaming arrows ready, and with that army we'll be able to advance on Asphodel and deal quite some significant damage to him.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of funny. We have them on wait, but I guess we can put them back on research, right? Yeah,
actually on research, yes.
It's a good thing we caught that. And that means that we're well ahead of what we need for level 4 next turn, which is good.
Yes. I would also recommend to decide if we really want to send the Kappas back underwater or try to move them to the east.
Yeah, that's another thing we haven't decided yet, right? I have a question. Is it worth it with the extra points since we're not going to get Enchantment 5 anytime soon? Should we keep the points here or should we sneak like Construction 1? Or...
I would sneak Alteration 1.
Okay, and what is that going to give us?
That's going to give us Eagle Eyes for the Ubas to spam Dust to Dust later. Okay. Alteration.
Yeah. It's plus, right? There it is.
Yeah, plus, yeah.
Okay, good. So should I get just 50 in it exactly? I guess the rest of the points should go here.
Yeah, just get it. Yeah, the rest of the points in enchantment.
Are you kidding me? Come on.
There we go. You can't split that. You won't be able to.
We can do it together.
It won't let you.
It won't let
you.
I see.
Yeah, it won't let you.
Okay, well then, stop. There. Okay, fine. A wasted point. My day is ruined. My OCD self is dying inside.
It's alright, Tortuga.
I'm gonna cry, but that's okay. Uh, so our next thing is to move into Kormu, like I already mentioned. This big army's bearing down on us. I probably, you know what, I probably should be bringing up the maps that I'm sending to the Council of the Living.
That would be a good point of reference for the viewers.
Because it kind of gives us an idea of what's going on. Let's see. So let me just bring up, this is the map I sent to everyone last turn. So this is turn 14, we're on turn 15. This is what I sent to the Council of the Living. I asked Vanheim if they would attack in one of those two places. They did. I told them I was moving in. I did. I asked Ulm to move here. He scouted it, and Man moved in here. I told them that I think Asphodel is going to attack me. They did. And I told them I'm going to retreat, which I did. I was worried about Airmore pushing up. It looks like they actually did. I didn't even realize this. I predicted Airmore coming up. Just by this arrow. It was completely accidental, but this arrow seems to imply I knew Airmore would go here, which I didn't. Anyways, this is when our hobbits moved back. I predicted that they would move in. They did. So far, we're doing pretty good on the guessing game.
Yeah, it's really good, actually.
This is the news update, if you want to kind of like an overview of what happened. Ulm attacked in, but didn't take the province since there's no arrow. Man attacked in here. I attacked in here. Asphodel, correctly, I predicted they would move in here, and I fled to here. This I did not predict, although it kind of seems like I did, but Airmore moved in here, and Asphodel moved in here. So this is right on the border. This is our capital right here. So they're very close. And Vanheim pushed up here. So this is the news, basically the update of what happened. And then this is what I sent. I mean, I sent this one as well, but I also sent this recommended plan of action. I asked Man to attack in. I told him if he does, I'll move out, and I'll move down to the south so I can continue my hit and run tactics, which it would be pointless for me to do hit and run if I was only preempting Man by one turn. It just doesn't make sense. There's two small armies here. I think it's actually three small armies here, and their big army is here. Since this is my capital, I told them I might move to defend, but we're not going to now. We've decided we need to wait one more turn for Enchantment 4. Did I miss anything?
The mercenaries.
These guys or these guys?
Oh no, I mean the new ones that you are like keeping, but where we wasted, well not wasted, but where we bid our money to keep the crossbowmen.
Oh, right. That's right. I have to renew the Magnus crossbows, which is particularly important right as we're about to get flaming arrows, right?
Yep.
Good point. Another thing, I guess, we're building the fortress. It only has 1 month left. You can see on the bottom. So I had Zari go ahead and build a lab so that they will have the ability to recruit Ubas next turn as well.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, that probably just about sums it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, well, I guess we're moving these mercenaries down to Erd, and we put as much province defense as we could muster. Can't get any more. In Erd, just if... Now, Airmore, Vanheim, by diplomacy, we've learned they're attacking into Airmore next turn. We also know that Agartha plans to eventually start attacking these territories. I think it'll be 2 or 3 more turns. What I think that means is Airmore is going to need to defend its own lands, but just in case they're going to do a suicide mission, and because I was talking with Iceni before, Erd is not a terrible place for a fort for us eventually. Like something like Erd to control the south and Summerlands to control the north would be like not terrible fort locations, right? I mean, we only talked about Erd, but I'm just looking, and Summerlands seems like kind of a natural border with Ulm.
Yeah, that'll be pretty good if he doesn't go there and take it himself.
By the way, where is the Throne of Water that was taken? It doesn't have to be in the water?
No, it's just the name of a throne.
Okay. So that must be probably this one, huh?
Who took it? Is it Vanheim?
Vanheim, yeah.
Yeah, maybe this one.
Because it was not taken last time we saw. I guess that is on this side. It's so hard to tell where that throne is.
Yeah, it could also be the one that's in the swamp. at the northwest of Vanheim.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. Would make more sense since it borders the water, but you're saying it doesn't actually have any correlation.
No, it doesn't.
That's a little unfortunate. Okay, well, yeah, basically our plan is to turtle up, and we're going to have a huge army in 2 more turns. But even next turn, we're going to have a pretty significant army in Shinuyama, and they may need to respond to Asphodel.
Yep.
Like, can my guys get, if I wanted to, Tortuga-san, God of my people, finally awake? Can I, if I wanted to, make it over? Yeah, so we can make it to the throne if we have to. Okay, he's back on research. Good. So we can one-hop over here. If they go to Stone Grave Mountains, it's just going to be impossible to know where they're going to go next. I think if they do, I know this is kind of talking about things before we need to, but I suspect that it would be a good plan to actually send Tortuga-san over to defend the throne and leave Yukanaga with all the support troops that arrive from Sylvania in next turn. Or vice versa. Send Yukanaga over here and leave Tortuga with all the reinforcements.
I would.
Or is it better not to fight?
It's safer to keep our army in one big stack.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's fair. Which is frustrating. As soon as he gets into my lands, because it's not a linear corridor like his, he can just run around us in circles.
But don't worry, because our fortresses are still producing unit, right? And if he tries to take a throne or the province that has a fort, he needs several turns commitment.
No, I'm not worried about that. So... I'm actually worried. Yeah, I think he knows that as well. I'm worried about him doing something like this. Click, 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 click.
You mean, but he splits his armies and start doing that?
No, he just one territory after the next starts moving.
But the more he does that, the more everyone can attack him at the back, right? Because his flank is completely exposed. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Because if he
but
keeps
man already
going
told us
your territories, man has all the free time in the world to attack Asphodel, right?
Yes. Okay, so I should have followed up. I did say that this was my plan of action. But man has already said he refuses to go in. That this is what he calls as a death trap for his army. He has, this is what we see at least, 100 longbowmen, knights, and foresters. I don't know how strong that army is. He's worried that this army will retreat back. If it doesn't, I hope that he just stays in Bamat this turn then, gosh. Because he can't be attacked. Can this army get to Bamat this turn? I guess so.
No, we cannot.
Okay, why is that?
Yeah, because it's not a friendly territory. We need one turn to attack. He can't just jump from this province to Bamat in a turn.
He has to attack from
unless if he was flying. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it. Good to know. So basically, if man stays in Bamat, he can't be attacked. Because there's no forces here, there's no forces here.
Yeah.
And I'm protecting him on the southeast. So why wouldn't he just wait there? I wonder what he'll do. I might message him more. We still plan... Oh, so we need to figure out what to do with these guys. Does Gamera and company... Do they attack Feral Woods? Do we roll a dice? Because technically the forces in Asphodel could probably reach us here, right?
Yeah, they could. So it's up to you. It's your choice on this one.
It's only 20 units, though. 3 huge carrion beasts and black centaurs and mannequins.
Yeah.
If we attack them, would we win?
I would say, because right now it looks like they have at least 5 black centaurs. There's 20% chance that we win.
Oh, wow, that's pretty low.
But it's still dangerous because we have kappas fighting on land, right? They will get exhausted eventually.
Yeah, it's not good for us to attack. I, of course, want to pick battles where we're only fighting like land forces like this.
So it all depends if Asphodel decides to go to Feral Woods this turn, if he expects us to keep attacking.
Well, there is something to be said about drawing his forces to Feral Woods. So that we kind of alleviate some of the pressure on the east.
Yeah, that can happen as well.
Stone Heavens might be taken next turn, although I guess we don't really care. It only gives us 39 income. That's just a tough decision. How much do you think we really deny him? Okay, this is forest and border mountain. Seems like a kind of good territory. And we didn't lose anybody, right?
We lost, I believe, six or seven units.
Okay, battle fright. And anybody here? Yeah, one here. Never healing wound, 20%. Okay, that's not so bad. Well, actually, that's weird. They have regeneration, but he has never healing wound. How does that work?
He has recuperation, so there's a chance every turn, but he will heal afflictions.
Will he heal this affliction, even if it's a never healing wound?
Yes, eventually there's a chance, yeah.
It's like when when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. It's a never healing wound, but he recuperates all afflictions. So, what wins? Well, I mean, just because we're here, let's move. Which one? Let's move this guy here. Okay, good. Good. Okay, so I think with 30 kappas, I kind of think we should roll the dice.
All right, let's go then.
Yeah. If we're like, you just have to put yourself in Asphodel's mind. They're gonna see that Ulm attacked here with like a scouting force. They're probably gonna assume we're moving here. Unless they think man moves there. The game theory that goes on is too much. Okay, I need to get this recording out, so we got to eventually make a decision, which is the tough part. I'm not going to commit to this completely, as in, we may end the turn and I may come back after a night without sleep thinking about this situation. I might change my mind again. I haven't gone through all the game theory, all the weighting in my head quite yet, but it seems like this is an okay move. And the reason why I think it's okay, maybe you have to weigh in. Of course, I've seen you before because you are the expert, but it's in the risk-reward scheme of things. If we do lose the army here, it kind of already accomplished its goal anyway. We have scouting from Utterdeep, and I don't think that they'll be sending. What do you think? Oh, I guess they could send just some carry-on, some mannequins or whatever to the Underdeep, because those guys are poor amphibians, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so
we could also increase the defense there later.
Yeah, that's true too. Oh god, it's really tough to say.
Because one thing to keep in our mind is we could just build a fortress there just to recruit more kappas later.
Yeah, this is not a bad. This is the best place in this group of lakes to build a fortress, because you get the most. I guess kappas
on the resource
they're
point
one
of
resource.
view.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It won't affect much. It's just like how easily you're able to produce armies that will be able to go and mobilize next turn.
Okay, yeah, then it's tough to say. Okay, if I'm Asphodel, I have a group of 20 units, 3 huge carrion beasts, 5 black centaurs. We don't even know, does he have a priest here? He will. He will. Of course he will.
Most likely. He's going to recruit one.
Yeah. He doesn't see any armies of ours in the southeast, so he probably does move north.
He does see Stone Heavens, though.
That's true, but the Stone Heavens he sees is just an army of what, like 20?
30, yeah.
30? I don't think he's threatened by this. He probably even knows it's Gunter, because he can look at the mercenary screen and he can tell, right?
Yeah, but he can also be thinking that if he doesn't put units there this turn, he's going to lose known peaks, because there's only one mannequin there.
That's true, but he has an army here and an army here, don't forget.
Isn't that army moving southwards?
This army is not the sum of all the armies we saw down here before. I think I saw 30, 20, and then 30 here, and now this is down to 20, and we don't see any armies here.
But could he be moving them to Saboera to rejoin with Earthsmoke, or just forting it up because it's a throne? Because if he intended to reinforce Gnome Peaks, we would have seen the units in Gnome Peaks since we have a map move of 2 and Forest Survival.
Yeah, this is true. If he wanted to go to Gnome Peaks last turn, he could have very easily from anywhere, Asphodel, anywhere, and he moved down. But what does that mean? Are you saying that because he didn't move to Gnome Peaks, he is gonna? Yeah, what does it mean? What does this information provide us?
This could mean that he's right now at Saboera, thinking that he should probably fortify it before we come in.
Uh-huh.
Or he just was dead set on killing Fordo Burget, and he was sending all his units south to make sure that Fordo Burget would not be able to escape.
There might be some sense in sending our scout down to Florian or Valador just so we know how many. Now, I think his best scouting information is just telling us what he's recruiting.
I think so too. Like, we are able to see if he's getting a lot of Black Centaurs in one turn or not.
Okay, here's the good news. He can't attack Feral Woods with any of these southern armies, right? That's 3 away.
Yeah.
3 carry-on beasts. Okay, yeah, let's roll the die. Let's do it.
Okay.
You only live once. And Scorn, by the way, I did rename all of the people so that if you are an actual name, because these names are actually so indistinguishable for me with the auto-generated Bakemono names, I put a period in front to know that I already renamed somebody. So that's just, if you see that, that's why that's happening. Okay, then I don't know what else to say. We've done this. What was the other big question we had? I don't remember. I thought there was one other thing.
Let me think.
Yeah.
I don't think. I can't recall if we thought of anything just now.
Okay, well, if we think of it off camera, we'll just address it. But this total video is now over 40 minutes, so I guess we'll wrap this one up. A lot of interesting diplomacy going on behind the scenes, obviously, and I think Das Tactic is making the comics, as I said, about the Council of the Living. And a lot of my maps that I showed you here are definitely going to be part of that. So, okay, well, thanks for joining I Seen You Before. I think you were immensely helpful on this episode in particular. So,
no problem. Always glad to help.
Also, just a pitch, I guess you started your tutorial series on Dominions 4?
Oh, yeah. Currently on episode 2. Might be rolling episode 3 out this week. Well, actually, I hope to get it out this week. And yeah, still, by the end of this comprehensive series guides, you should be able to pick up Dominions, like, no problem, for your first game, at least against the AI.
Yeah, well, there you go. So if people are watching and they aren't sure how to play Dominions 4 and are curious of learning it, then just look in the video description for a link to I Seen You Before's channel, and you can find his tutorial series there. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode. So to everyone there, thanks for watching, and until the next episode, take care.